Tonight we continue reading The Little Prince. We are up to chapter 6. Wherever it is. Where's chapter 6? There it is. Shh, please settle down. Oh, little prince, gradually I began to build up a picture of your cheerless life. For a long time your only distraction had been the beautiful sunsets. I gleaned this new nugget of information on the morning of the 4th day when you said, I love sunsets, let's go and watch a sunset. But we must wait. Wait for what? Wait for the sun to go down. At first you looked astonished, and then you laughed at yourself and said, I keep forgetting where I am. Indeed he did. As we all know, when it is midday in America, the sun is setting over France. If you could whiz off to France instantly, you would see the sun go down. Unfortunately, France is much too far away, but on your tiny little planet, all you had to do was swivel your chair a few inches and you could watch dusk fall whenever you wanted. One day I watched 44 sunsets. And a little later you added, you know, when a person is very, very sad, they like sunsets. And were you very, very sad on the day you watched 44 sunsets? But the little prince did not reply. Chapter 7. On the 5th day, I stumbled upon another of the little prince's secrets, again thanks to the lamb. He suddenly came out with a question, as if he had silently been mulling it over for a long time. If a lamb eats shrubs, does it also eat flowers? A lamb eats everything it comes across. Even plants with thorns? Yes, even plants with thorns. So what use are thorns? I had no idea. I was busy trying to undo a bolt in the engine. I was very worried as I realised the damage might be very serious and my drinking water was running out fast. I feared the worst. So what use are thorns? Once he had asked a question, the little prince never let the matter drop. I was exasperated by the stubborn bolt and said the first thing that came into my head. Thorns have no use, it's just the plants being mean. Oh. But after a silence he blurted out crossly, I don't believe you. Flowers are fragile, they're innocent. They make up for it best they can by telling themselves that their thorns are scary. I did not reply. Right then I was thinking, if I can't undo this bolt, I'll have to take a hammer to it. Once again the little prince broke in. And do you think that flowers... No, I don't think anything, I snapped. I have more serious matters to attend to. He stared at me, bemused. Serious matters? He stared at me as I leaned over an object that he found very ugly, gripping my hammer, my fingers black with grease. You sound just like the grown-ups. That made me feel slightly ashamed. I added bitterly, you've got it all wrong. You get everything all muddled up. He really was very angry. He tossed his golden hair in the wind. I know a planet where there's a red-faced man. He's never smelled a flower. He's never gazed at a star. He's never loved anyone. He's never done anything other than sums, and all day long he repeats just like you, I have serious matters to attend to, worthwhile matters, and that makes him puff up with pride. But he's not a man, he's a puffball. A what? A puffball. By now the little prince was pale with anger. Flowers have been making thorns for millions of years. For millions of years, sheep have been eating flowers despite their thorns, and isn't trying to understand why flowers go to so much trouble to make thorns that are no use a worthwhile thing to do? Isn't the war between sheep and flowers a serious matter? Isn't that serious and more important than a big fat red-faced man and his sums? And supposing I know of a flower that is absolutely unique, that is nowhere to be found except on my planet, and any minute that flower could accidentally be eaten up by a little lamb, isn't that important? He reddened, then went on. If a person loves a flower that is the only one of its kind on all the millions and millions of stars, then gazing at the night sky is enough to make them happy. He says to himself, my flower is out there somewhere, but if the lamb eats the flower, then suddenly it's as if all the stars had stopped shining. Isn't that important? He was too choked to utter another word. He burst into tears. Night had fallen. I had to put down my tools. I no longer cared about my hammer, my bolt, being thirsty or dying. There was a star, a planet, mine, Earth, and a little prince who needed comforting. I put my arm around him and cradled him, saying, "The flower you love isn't in any danger. I'll draw a muzzle for your little lamb. I'll draw some protective netting for your flower." I was at a loss for words. I felt very clumsy. I did not know how to reach out to him. The world of tears is so unfathomable.